Hi, I'm iKia, and I'm here to give you only the tips. Today on my recommended weapons list. And this new-ish recommended weapons list lives in the build collection. I'll link both to the build collection and the recommended weapons list directly so you can go and find it pretty easily. It'll be in the description and in the comments. When we go into it, what we see is a big list, which is split up into 7 columns here. Each of those is for each of the weapon classes, of course, the header giving us which one it is. And then we're starting actually with some talents. In this whole list, the higher up it is, the more recommended it is. Recommended doesn't mean better, because for instance, yeah, situationally killer, for instance, here as one of the higher recommended ones in the talent section is the thing I would generally recommend, but I might, for instance, something lower down here as being, for instance, sadist, on an OD build, the situation changes and that becomes the pick, for instance. This is just to give you a list of the talents that I would recommend especially. Then when we go to the weapons, we also have some color coding going on there. As we see, it is 6 different metrics repeated for all of the weapons. And then actually there's a color coding systems going from green to red, from great to above average to average, and then the red being below average. This way, I hope people can very easily infer what kind of the style of a weapon is. If we look at the Lexington, most of it is green, with just 1 blue in there, so it's mostly above average. And that is just, of course, what the Lexington kind of is. It is one of the better picks in that category. If we then look at the FAMAS, we do see actually there's a bunch of reds in there. So you can from that also infer that even though that weapon has a bunch of reds, likely the greens are the better parts of it. There's also a little line per weapon explaining kind of what it is for and what some of its challenges and some of its benefits are. There is also a bunch of weapons in here that are specifically picked, for instance, as well, not per se for the damage. As we, for instance, scroll down a little bit, we'll see, for instance, a St. Elmo, which doesn't have great damage, but does have great handling. So there is also some recommendations in for that. Then as we also go through the weapon types, we have, a bunch of different weapons. And what this then definitely is basically kind of in the recommended build list style, the weapons I would recommend. Now, this isn't an end-all, be-all list. I'll definitely keep updating it and upgrading it. And especially as well, if we get any rebalances or additions to the game, we'll add them in if they meet our requirements. But this definitely is a list that I can feel pretty confident in showing to people and going like, these weapons I can definitely recommend.